Y'all, we are back with a new episode of Lip Gloss and Ladders. Happy September to everybody watching at home. Wishing our listeners a productive and fruitful September as we get into the back half of 2024. So crazy how fast this year flew by. Like, it's shocking, some might say, but really good year nonetheless. I am, of course, your girl, Ash Benny, and I am joined today with my beautiful co-host, Reese. How are you doing today, girl?
Doing great. Ready for September. Ready for a new month.
Yeah, absolutely. And how are you, Gabby?
I am good. I'm happy to be here and happy to talk through wrestling.
Yeah, super excited. SAC show today, so lots of good stuff to talk about. And how are you doing on this lovely Sunday, KB?
Good. New month, new goals, new week, new accomplishment. Let's get it.
Yeah, dope. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's just get right into the news. To start off on the top, I do want to send prayers and condolences to Sid Vicious and his entire family. That was very crazy, like shocking news that happened this past week. So we, of course, as the Lip Gloss and Ladders fam, want to offer our condolences, send prayers and thoughts to the family. So, but let's get into something, I don't want to say fun, but I feel like it's a good conversation starter to open up this week. Rikishi in this podcast, man, like I'm like 2 seconds from going down there myself and pulling out his mic. I'm sure we all know at this point, but Rikishi has been speaking a lot on Jey Uso's career. He feels as though, unbiased, of course,
Completely.
whenever he says that, I'm like, Keish, stop. But so Rikishi is basically speaking on Jey Uso's career, going as far enough to say that he should be thinking and considering a career in AEW because he deems the treatment that Jey Uso is receiving on television week to week is not worthy to the level of popularity that Jey Uso is currently at. While I do think that there are some truths to what Rikishi is saying, wrong messenger. Super wrong messenger, especially like optics wise. We already know that the NYE and the Fatsus are running things right now. So to have your dad complaining on his major platform, I probably feel like Jey Uso is backstage like, I need you to stop talking. And he said that multiple times at his point. But I want to open the floor and ask everybody, what do we think of Rikishi's comments, and do you think that there's any validity to them?
There's any validity. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. His son is probably one of the most overacts right now. So, like, what are you talking about? Like, are you just bored? Is that what this is? Like, I don't understand where he's coming from with this. Like, do I think that his run could be better? Sure. But do I think he should be inserting himself in any of the, like, where's the room for the storyline? I guess is my biggest thing right now. All of the things going on, all of the things happening, like, where does he have time, and where does it fit for him to have like this amazing to the moon solo run? Timing is everything. He's over. He's selling merch every time. Like at the event at Raw, there were no blue phones left over. They were all sold out.
Yes.
Yeet is running crazy. Like where is he disconnect? Who disconnect somewhere? I don't know where it is.
Yeah. I do feel like the frustrations could potentially be from he feels like Jay should be holding a belt right by now.
Absolutely.
Jay should be a belt holder.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, period. He said, yep. So I want to ask you, KB, do you agree in that sense? Do you think that Jey Uso should be holding a belt? Do you think that he should win the Intercontinental tournament and be the top contender?
I'm torn because I don't want Braun to be like a transitional champion. But I feel like Jay has been in match after match after match for titles since 2020, and he has yet to win one. He didn't win Money in the Bank, and it's like, okay, when is his time to be champion? Because it's getting close to him. I feel like him teaming back up with Jimmy, and he going against Bloodline 2.0. So it's like, if he goes back into the little faction or whatnot, is he still going to have a singles run? But I don't like the hype of he is very over. I don't like the hype of him being so over and him not being the belt. Or I don't know. I'm just at this point watching because I'm just tired of getting my hopes up at this point. So
agreed.
Yeah,
very much
agree.
On that. Yeah. Do you have any thoughts, Reese?
while he's like you said, like, he's not wrong, just the wrong messenger. I understand, but saying, "Oh, he should go to AEW" is wild. That's crazy.
I
Like
would not go
what?
that far. I would not go that far.
What?
He's eating. He's eating. Under
Like, and very
WWE right
well.
now.
He is eating filet mignon and steak and surf and turf. Like, he is not. He is fine. He is okay. While I do agree, he should have had a title run, but then it's also, I gotta be honest here, what would a Jey Uso title run really truly look like? Because he is gonna team up soon with the Bloodline 2.0, and if he's getting back with Jimmy, what is the purpose now? If this was earlier in Yeet, like when he first got drafted, and you put him with New Day, and you put him and you made him win another tag team belt, I can see it being them. But now that he's one of the most over, if not the most over on Raw now, I think Big Keish. I think sit it down.
Yeah,
Sit it down.
patience. I think
Yeah.
it's coming. I think it's coming. My biggest worry, like to kind of echo KB's concerns a bit, is that I just don't want it to be like, well, I don't want the fan perception to be like he can never secure the big one, and because of
Right.
that, like the over his level of over kind of dwindles down as the months continue. Because I don't want to say that happened to LA Knight, but it almost that's a different discussion for a different day.
But for LA Knight to get that bag, right, or to get their title, like,
Yeah.
we want him to have that title last year at Mania, and it literally happened a little over a year later. So I just gotta like trust the process. And let's be honest, he's more over right now than Rikishi has ever been. So relax. But
It's okay.
honestly,
Just watch.
Yeah.
right,
Honestly. And it's like, if it was Rikishi, you have a whole other son that's not on television that's medically cleared. I'd be like, where's Big Jim? If I was Rikishi, I'd be like, put my other son on TV.
Exactly.
Like, so.
his other son is literally running SmackDown. Like, literally. Focus on your other children. Like, it's okay. It's okay. Like, I know we have our favorites, but like, it's okay.
2011 of them, so he got
literally 2011 of them running around right now. Like, pick one and chill.
We clearly know the favorite of the
We
podcast.
found it. We found it.
Absolutely.
Every week he's like, yeah, that's like Jimmy's not being booked, but what's going on with Jay? Like, so to close out, we're all in agreement that Rikishi's mic needs to be touched.
Yes.
Moving on in our new segment, just wanted to give a shout out to Mercedes Moné. She had a really, really good title defense against Momo Watanabe, I believe is her name. Really fantastic match for New Japan. What was it called? Capital Collision. Mm-hmm. Really, really dope match. Kind of helped balance things from the All-In match, because we didn't get to talk about the Fallout. We'll talk a little bit about it, but we didn't get to do a full coverage of the All-In Fallout. So happy that she was able to get that match in. Really, really good. And I'm super excited for the Hikaru Shida All-Out match that they just confirmed this morning. That's
a good match.
I'm excited. Good call. Really, really good call. Happy that. And plus, I feel like when they had that match a couple weeks ago, Hikaru and Mercedes, you could tell that they were holding back. So take the cuffs off, give them time. I want to see what they can do. Really, really dope. So next, moving on, I wanted to talk about this new documentary that's coming out on Netflix. I feel like the timing of it, as well as the distributor, is extremely, extremely interesting. We have the Mr. McMahon documentary. The director says that the goal behind the docuseries is to pull back the curtain and reveal the true Vince McMahon. I know that this documentary has been in development for quite some time. I do think that it's very interesting that they're kind of putting it out a couple months before the full-on merger with Netflix and Raw. So that's certainly interesting, but are you guys interested in this documentary, and will you be watching?
100%.
I want all the tea.
I will all the tea. It's because we already know that Vince McMahon is never seeing like, we know he has his own wing, and like, you know, that's what his wrestlers will be. Like, we know he has his own wing waiting for him in hell, and just to go and see how, like, I wonder if they're gonna like go into the whole storyline with him and Stephanie, where he was like, "Hey, how about I be the dad of your baby?" What? Like, things like that.
the whole saying the N word on national television on a cable network multiple times. I was just like, I can't wait to see it.
It's
And then the details.
Tiger King. Tiger King was so
I know.
messy. Like, that was my
Messy.
pandemic jam. Let me tell you, I watched Tiger King probably like 40, 50, 11 times. Like, I had to. So, like, just knowing the people behind that, like, you know it's going to be
Juicy. My biggest thing is I'm very curious to see who's going to be speaking in the documentary. And I'm very curious to see if WWE, how far they go. How far they tackle all of these issues, how far they talk about a lot of the uncomfortable topics that pertain to Vince McMahon and his overall career at WWE, because a lot of these things happened while he was the CEO of a major conglomerate. So I'm very curious to see if WWE got their hands on it and did a little
scrubbing, cleaning,
polishing on it to make sure that certain things don't happen or certain things aren't said yet. But it's
information is public information, though. That's the thing. So, like, I understand Netflix, like, knowing where your bread is buttered, you know, like, I understand that theory, but also earth information is public information. Like, Google is free. I love that phrase. Like, Google is free. So, and as much as come out about it, it's like, it'd be weird for them not to talk about these things because we all know they're great. So it's like that awkward level of journalism versus entertainment. So for guys that know, my background is journalism. So there's always a level of, I'm not here to please you. I am here to report the news. That is my job. Yeah. My job is not to make you look good. My job is to make you look bad. My job is to present you with these unbiased facts. So I'm very curious too if it's going to be a journalistic take or is it going to be an entertainment take? Because it can't be both.
Right. Exactly. We need 8 parts. This needs to be 8 parts.
And it's like,
yeah,
the thing is
a 6
things. Like,
part dog. Oh, 6 part.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna need more time. We're gonna need more time.
Like,
there's literally murders.
After everything comes out, like, I want you guys to revisit it again because it's going to be so many things that are going to come out in the situation. Like, I need you all to come back and like do a part 2. Like how they have the R. Kelly part 1, 2, and 3. Like, I'm gonna need like all of those. I need you to break it down. Yeah. And like, I'm in 4th grade, please.
Yeah. Super interested in seeing how they tackle these topics, how they go about it, and to see how WWE reacts. Because they've been very much they're obviously not with or supporting of Vince McMahon and his actions, but they're not outright denouncing him either. So it's very interesting. I'm very interested to see how they juggle and handle and balance that, and to see if they even do, unless they come out and like straight up condemn them. More power to them. I hope that, in actuality, that's what they do. But moving on, next topic. So we have the WWE Speed Tournament. We have the potential crowning of a new Speed champion. I'm going to read off the tournament choices so far. So the first match is Lyra Valkyria versus Io Sky, Naomi versus Blair Davenport, Elektra Lopez versus Kairi Sane, Candice LeRae versus Piper Niven. So I feel like this is a good, solid picks. Do we all agree that these are some good picks? Like, is there anyone else that you wanted to see in the Speed Tournament that hasn't been getting a lot of shine recently?
Well, she been getting her shine, but I'm just big on Chelsea Green right now.
That's not Chelsea Green's style of wrestling. So when you think of Speed, you have to think of like a certain style code of wrestling, and that's not her niche wrestling. I don't see this being Piper's either, but we all know that she's probably gonna take that L first round. This is more like, this is cut for like Io, right? Like, let's be like, I think that's who, like, this is her style of wrestling, the quick, the fast, kind of like how Ricochet had it when he had it. Like, that's his thing. Andrade made sense for him to have it. Like, you kind of have to think about it from that. Is this their style of wrestling? And does it make sense for them to have it? Keep in mind, it's only on Twitter or X, whatever the hell you want to call it. And that matters too, right? So kind of have to look at, can this woman fit the mold, because it did crazy numbers for the men.
Right.
Market
shout out to Pete Dunne. Shout out to Pete Dunne. This was all his baby. So That's always really, really cool when a wrestler pitches something like that and it's successful. So I'm happy that it was successful, and now the women are getting the opportunity to show up and show out. Who's our pick to win? I'll say like Naomi or Io.
Io.
Yeah.
Io.
Naomi or Io. Probably Io more than likely.
Yeah, I could see Io cleaning house on this.
I do think that instead of Piper, maybe it should have been in the first round, maybe an NXT woman comes up, like maybe a Kalani Jordan. I know she might take the L, but it's like
good luck.
he likes to get the
look.
Yeah, it's a good look. They put him on main event anyway. Like I know Izzy Dame was just on main event, so Izzy Dame, Kiana James, what is she doing? Like, so
Quick person for this type of tournament, Kiana James.
Right. I do think instead of, again, I will always want to see everybody win. I want to see Piper on, get that platform for sure.
Of course.
But I just feel like in the speed tournament, it should be like maybe a Tegan Knox or NXT.
I'm thinking, I know I said Io, but it bothers me how much love and attention that Candice LeRae does not get.
Yes.
Because Candice LeRae, I guarantee, trained all of your favorite people. Guarantee you.
Yeah.
She wasn't in very hot. And then when she got to WWE, it's like it all kind of went away. So actually, I wouldn't mind seeing her, and she fits the style of this wrestling very well. I think if anything, she'll get a couple rounds in. Yeah, but it bothers me how much Candice LeRae does not get that love and attention. And again, I guarantee you, your favorite wrestlers have come through her.
Yeah, she's paired against Piper Niven, so I'm very curious to see how that match is gonna go. I feel like that might be like one of the only like wild cards first round to see who might make it through. And I'm pulling for Candice. I hope that Candice gets that shine. But Reese, you mentioned Tegan Knox, and there's been a bit of buzz about her this past week on X because she was voicing a bit of frustrations about not being included in the WWE Speed Tournament. I wholeheartedly sympathize with her. I understand where she's coming from. Like, I get the frustration, especially when you look at the Mae Young Classic, another like a clip that was going viral this week, that match that she had against Rhea Ripley. When she tore everything in her knee clean off the bone, like she's given everything to this company. So to keep going and to not give up in that match is extremely commendable on her part. Like you could tell she really, really loves this and really, really wants the opportunity to get her foot in the door. But that being said, though, I do feel like she has been given different opportunities. That match against Becky Lynch she had a couple months back, as well as I think she had like a little mini feud with Xia Li, like a couple months back as well. And those things didn't really do too much to add to her momentum. So I want to ask you, KB, do you think that what do you foresee the ceiling being for Tegan Knox? Do you think that Tegan Knox is validated in her frustrations, or do you feel like, well, you've had a couple opportunities on TV. There's, of course, the injury-prone aspect of her career as well that cannot be ignored. So there's like a whole bunch of things that come into play. So do you think that, like, what do you see her ceiling being?
So with her being injury-prone, it could just hold her back with her being in opportunities. So I get her frustration, but it's just like so many women are not being shown. Like you mentioned earlier, Kiana James. Like I forgot about her until I seen a picture going through Instagram. Like so many women are not being showcased that's up in the main roster. So it's kind of difficult. It's like picking and choosing who you want to shine. So that's just my thoughts on it.
Yeah, and I imagine it couldn't have been easy to pick such a small amount of women to do this because there are so many women in the locker room deserving of an opportunity. I guess we'll have to wait and see. A lot of times when people voice their frustrations online, we start to see them.
It goes one way or another. Yeah, very curious how it's going to go for her. Because like you all mentioned, like she's kind of had chances. But then you have to look at someone like Chelsea Green, who also had issues with injury, who's gone away and then came back and has been killing it. I'm not saying she should be cut, so relax. That's what I'm saying. You have to look at that as well. Like, did you capitalize on what you're doing? Are you going to capitalize on what you're doing? Sometimes squeaky wheel does not always get the wheel. Sometimes it gets the boot. So let's vote.
Yeah, and Chelsea Green is really the perfect opportunity because you could give her 20 minutes, you could give her 5 seconds. You are going to remember what she did on screen. You are going to remember if she yelled at, exactly, if she yelled at Nick Aldis, if she had a funny one-liner at Tiffany Stratton. She always makes sure that whatever time she's given on TV, it's worthwhile.
Look at that.
Right.
Yeah.
She
Perfect
was funny,
example.
Stole the show on that one.
Yeah.
Exactly.
She's doing confessionals. So like I said, I'm always gonna root for her at the end of the day.
Sure. I was a fan of hers on Tough Enough. Was a fan of hers on Tough Enough, and just to see some of the stuff that she took, and then even when she got cut, she went and built her name elsewhere. And like with Tegan, injury prone, like I know she probably was gonna win that Mae Young Classic, and then injury, then you get called up to then you get signed, and you get injured as soon as you get signed to NXT. Then you get called up on the main roster, you get injured as soon as you get called up on the main roster. You get cut, they bring you back. You know, it's just kind of like
They're working.
Are you gonna get hurt?
Yeah, they're trying. I definitely feel like because of her talent, they've definitely tried to feature her on television as much as possible. But with the injuries, it's just hard. And then it's so unfortunate by the time that she came up to the main roster and she got that rehire, audiences, like the general wrestling audience, didn't really know who she was.
Right.
So it was unfortunate. It was unfortunate. But moving on, and to close out the news today, a little very exciting, something that we've all been asking for is, where are the divas? Where is our representation of, yes, Trish and Lita, fantastic, amazing. We love to see them and to see them get their flowers. But what about all of the other fantastic women that are not consistently showcased on WWE television? That is why I am so excited to announce that Victoria signed a legend contract with WWE.
Well deserved.
Very, very exciting. Very, very exciting. So I'm assuming that she's probably going to be doing like some backstage role as well as like different promotional stuff, marketing.
I'm sure she's gonna
I was just about to say, put her in 2K25. Put her in 2K25. Maybe even like a little Rumble appearance. Who knows? But what would you guys like to see from Victoria in a legend contract? Like, what type of capacity would you like to see Victoria?
I would like to see her as a producer. One thing she can do is put together a match. Like, she's amazing. She's one of the best wrestling minds. She's definitely one of my faves. I definitely would love to see a Rumble spot. I'd pop for sure with that. Like, I'm excited for her, and I'm happy for her that she's finally getting her flowers. Long overdue, well deserved.
Yes. That video was so sweet. You could like feel the excitement through the phone. I was just so damn happy for her.
That was genuine.
Deserved, very much deserved. So that is our news for today. Now let's do like a quick little rundown of everything that happened this week so that we can get into the meat and potatoes of Bash in Berlin. Starting with AEW Dynamite, we had a little bit of fallout from All In. The All Out, All In, all that stuff is tripping me up, guys. It's tripping me up. But we had the reappearance of Jon Moxley. He is now back on AEW TV. Very much good to see him. There was a lot of contention, a lot of people upset because he was not All In. We all know that Jon Moxley is a lover of the game. He was at an indie show. His best friend runs the promotion, by the way, and the promotion is like an hour from his house. Lay off him, like
work horse.
That's what I'm saying. So he didn't want to go to Wembley. Like, he has done so much for this company. To even question his legitimacy and like if he wants to stay in AEW, to me, like reading those was outlandish. Like the thought of Jon Moxley leaving AEW is almost like, I don't want to say impossible.
I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I didn't say this to make this quick, so I'm not going to dig too deep into the theory hole today. I was trying to like keep it contained, I will never say never to Jon Moxley. Especially now that Vince is gone and it's a whole new WWE.
I thought so.
I'm never going to say never to anyone, but I'm definitely never going to say never to Jon Moxley. So I'm going to put a pin on that, and we'll come back to another date and time. I'm sure it'll pop up again because it always does, but I'm never going to say never to Moxley.
Definitely interested in that because I don't think we see him until the Shield's Hall of Fame, and induction. So,
Yeah,
now that Vince is gone. Yeah, but now Vince is gone, maybe.
and that's the thing. People left because they were tired of like this shitty booking that he was doing. I mean, Max did the interview on Jericho, and then he got free and like ripped everybody a new asshole. But like, we're not there anymore. It's a whole new game. It's a whole new everything going on.
If Punk can come back,
y'all never thought Cody was coming back. I never thought Punk was coming back. I did, and here they are. So I'm gonna never say never that, and we're gonna move on. Sorry, my bad.
All good, all good. All good. I mean, we love the Gabby theories. We love the Gabby theories. So we always have to spotlight them when they come across. But that being said, we did get a weird closing out of Dynamite with him where he seems to be having some plans with Marina Shafir.
So they were in NJPW running around NJW together. So I actually was not surprised when that happened because his parents in NJW, she was at all of them. And she was their muscle in that. So if you were watching NJPW, you would have seen that coming. So I'm not stuck on that one.
Okay. So I guess we'll have to see what exactly they're planning. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there have been like little like intergender, a little bit of an intergender tagging going on with Willow. It seems like Mercedes and Okada might at some point. Like there's like they've been kind of teasing these different intergender matchups. So what if I'm with it? I'm here for it. Very curious. Moving on, we have the never-ending saga of Swerve and Hangman. I'm starting to feel like so dead. I'm so dead. I'm starting to feel like a lot of people think that this is like bigger than they essentially don't need a belt because of how the level of importance of this story. I will give them that from that aspect. But are we ladies like excited to see a grand conclusion to this Swerve Hangman, like a definitive winner?
Definitely. I'm not a Swerve fan, so I'm always happy to wrap this up and move on with Swerve. That's fine. He had it. Fine. It wasn't good. I love that for him actually, and I can move on from Swerve.
Listen. I wasn't exactly crying when he lost the belt, so if that's any indication. Yeah. I'm excited for a match.
Yeah, for sure. I can't wait for the 10th match. Can't wait for the 10th match of 25. I do not think we're over. I don't think it's over. You know, AEW, they will run it into the ground. They will run it into the ground with simulation.
I will give Swerve credit because the match with Daniel Bryanson was probably his best match ever. So I will give credit when credit is due. That was a great match, but I'm still off the Swerve train, and I'll never hop on it. So,
agreed. Same. He kind of sold his. That was kind of the end of that.
I don't like him. Okay?
Yeah.
Go leave it at that.
Period.
You know. If you don't, I'm on Google.
Yep. Let's move on. So we have Jamie Hayter's return match against Harley Cameron. It was a short little match. Happy that Jamie was booked for the main show. I think that it was fitting. I'm curious to see what they're doing with the Saraya thing. I don't know. I don't. Yeah, like I don't know.
We don't like her, and I mean, we as well, the wrestling collective, we don't like her.
It's go away heat. It's finally go.
Need to make that happen, Tony. Like I understand you wanted to give her the moment last year at Wembley, and it was a wet fart because where did it go? You gave her a moment, and I love that. But like, actually, I don't. But like, what did that moment really progress?
Exactly.
Nothing.
Again, I don't know. And it comes back to opportunities.
Her and her man,
like, heavy on the
heavy on her man.
The man.
Yeah, and her man.
Like I was never. If I was her friend, I would just be like, "Girl, don't tell me no more about your dating life because
you're stressing me out." Like, very dark sided, very very dark sided. But again, to go back to what we were talking about in the news segment of opportunities, Saraya's had a lot of opportunities in this past year, and she has not been able to capitalize or turn it into a money feud. You know, she's like her as a groupie.
We don't like her. They tried. We tried to make fetch happen, but I don't think it's her fault. It's just that we don't like her, and I think people are afraid to wrestle her.
That as well.
I think that matters too, right? She's been putting on great matches because I think people are like, "Oh my god, she's fragile. Don't want to break her." And
yeah,
I can't blame them for that. Like,
Yeah, you don't want that stigma put on you, which is a big reason why I don't want Mercedes versus Saraya to happen. Just meaning there's history there.
No, I really don't. And then
You got so much heat for that.
NXT Paige and Saraya are two different
people.
I don't know. How'd you go from that, putting on one of the best women's matches in the history of WWE with Emma, to this?
What we got?
Yeah. See, never mind. I was about to say something. Can't say it on the show.
I'm sure we'll hear it off air.
It's fine.
But overall, we're happy that Jamie Hayter is back. Excited to see what she does with this feud so that we can move on.
Yep.
So we can move on. Next, we have Mariah May looking absolutely beautiful, teasing a title celebration. I'm very excited to see. I'm hoping that the Tony storyline isn't done. I feel like just because of the way the finish happened, I don't think the storyline is over. So I'm excited to see what they have her do in the interim, what type of opponents they give her. Yeah, I'm excited, happy about it. Happy Mariah May is champion. Moving on, we have Ricochet's debut match in AEW. I feel like it was a standard Ricochet match.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think that Kyle Fletcher, I think it was a smart move to have Kyle Fletcher do it because he's on the rise, as well as he's Will Ospreay's bestie. So having Will Ospreay come out at the closing was everything kind of lined up the way that it was supposed to, I feel like. How do we feel about a sneak attack Poison Rona?
Why not? Why not?
Why not?
It's for AEW, I guess. Why not? Sure. Why not?
Hilarious. Of all the sneak attack moves, you get on this man's shoulders. Okay.
Let's define sneak attack. Let's hop on our Googles right quick and define sneak.
Like,
Maybe.
loud as hell. Like, hilarious.
If it gets us to where we need to be, I'm with it.
Sure.
I will say Ricochet looks like he fits in AEW. Like, he looks like this is where he belongs.
Yeah, I was telling my husband, like, it's very funny because Ricochet is built. He's jacked. But because of his size in WWE, he didn't look as imposing. But when he went to AEW, when like that guy's more his size, I was like, wow, Ricochet's looking hard in this current crop of dudes in this roster. So I was like, this makes sense. This is a good fit for me. Mm-hmm. I like this.
And so it'll showcase him. I think he'll be a star here. He like, don't get me wrong, he was over in WWE. He was. We love him. We love to see him. But here he'll be a star. Not saying he wasn't a star in WWE. He was. He just will be a bigger one in AEW. And he fit.
Yeah. I'm gonna come back to that.
Yeah, well. I hope
he definitely had a ceiling. He definitely had a ceiling in WWE. I think that he was a star, but I feel like he was a star within reason. You know what I mean? I feel like they knew that they could trust Ricochet, so they put him in high spot moments where the person wasn't going to win, but they knew that Ricochet could benefit from the look. Right. So I feel like Ricochet just wasn't, which is valid, completely valid. He wasn't satisfied with that. He's still a young man, you know, like he could still go. He's still in the prime of his career. So I think that making the leap to AEW where he can potentially get new opponents, as well as just like a fresh perspective on his character, I think it's a good choice. I'm excited to see what he does and to see where it goes. Closing out Dynamite, we had Bryan Danielson cut like a little promo. He's not done yet, people. He's not retiring yet. So that's something that's exciting. And I guess I kind of was expecting him to lose and retire. So to find out that we're literally just buckling up for a whole new run is kind of crazy to me, to go from, wow, we're about to watch him retire, to he's probably got another couple months holding this belt and doing some things. So what did we think of Jack Perry being his opponent?
It's fine with me. I like the scapegoat. I enjoy Jack Perry. Again, I definitely thought he was done. I think we got one more year of Bryan. That's what I feel. We probably have one more year of him. Again, I think really putting over that young talent would have worked. I don't think he's gonna drop it. Jack Perry. Like, I don't think he's gonna drop it anytime soon.
No, no,
I don't think he drops it until he goes away. I think we are about to have a year-long run for sure. I don't know if I believe that this is his favorite moment of his career, but if it is, then do you be?
Yeah, I want to put a pin in it, and I want everybody to think about it for next week about who they would want Bryan Danielson's retirement match to be against. So I feel like that's a good question. I feel like it needs some thought. So,
and if you have ideas, feel free to put it in the comment section.
Oh yeah, let us know. Sound off in the comments below. For sure. So moving on to TNA. Nothing really too crazy before the PPV on Friday, TNA Emergence, but I do want to give a major shout out to Jordynne Grace and Ash by Elegance. They put on a really, really fun street fight style match. I really enjoyed the stipulations, like the customized weapons and all of those things. If you guys at home have any time, be sure to watch that match. I would say the Mercedes versus Momo Watanabe match at New Japan Capital Collision, and then this match, Jordynne Grace versus Ash by Elegance, would be my two matches I would recommend for this week. But TNA did have a PPV this past Friday, TNA Emergence. Major congratulations to Zachary Wentz, who is now our X Division champion. Kind of enjoyed the little shock there with the changing of hands. I think that it's also a nice play because Zachary Wentz will be going into No Mercy tonight as a champion, which I think is pretty cool. Obviously, I don't think that there'll be any crazy stipulations added or anything like that. But do you see Wesley potentially challenging for that belt? I think it's a great fit.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
It's a great fit.
I agree. And I'll give TNA some equal talent.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that
on their side.
But TNA typically always is the short end of the stick of the talent whenever people really need them to do better. Or for people to give them better than just sending over no shade randos who aren't doing anything right now, who are not involved in a storyline. Right. Everyone's dipping in me. It's dipping you're not doing anything. You want to fight? All right, cool. We got you.
We'll book you. We'll book you, girl. We got you. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. We're definitely thinking of Alicia Edwards. I don't know if you guys saw that viral clip that was going around, where Alicia, during that 6-woman tag match, she was unfortunately knocked out. That, my one thing that I want to say about that is the protocol, please don't pick up people if they're knocked out. Please don't pick up people if they're knocked out. Please.
That it could get to them.
That stressed me out so bad. When they kept picking her up and they kept moving her head around, that stressed me so bad. I was like, please don't do that. Please don't do that. But we're really hoping that you're okay, Alicia. I mean, it was unfortunate that happened so early on in the match. They kind of had to call things on the fly due to that injury. Mm-hmm. So obviously we give them grace and understanding for that. Pulling and praying for you, Alicia. Huge weekend for Joe Hendry. He had a major spot with the Hardys, as well as in this 6-person tag with the Hardys, as well as he has his title match tonight at No Mercy. Very, very exciting stuff for Joe Hendry. A lot of people are saying that he should be in the main event scene for both. I still think that the overexposure, we got to be careful with the overexposure. We got to be careful with the overexposure. So
really
everywhere. It's to the point now where people are saying that he's signed to WWE. I'm like, he's featured on Thursday.
He's at their meeting greets.
Yeah. I'm like, he still shows up on Thursdays, so so he's not a WWE boy yet, but really, really great card for Emergence. It was a overall serviceable show. Moving on to ROH, we have the debut of Sydney Akeem. I feel like WWE didn't even show a fraction of what this guy can do. I want to see way more. I want to see way more in ROH. I think that it was a pretty serviceable debut match, but let's put him in more stuff. Let's put him in more feuds. I kind of am enjoying this slow rebuilding of ROH. Do you guys think that it's going at a slow pace, or do you think that ROH is slowly getting their ducks in a row and slowly figuring things out?
Slowly but surely. Slowly.
Is it too slow?
It is, because I think it is, and that's already dropping off interest.
Just a wee bit.
I had a Ring of Honor subscription in 2024. I think I cut it in last fall, and I haven't necessarily missed it. it's $10. Could I get it back? Sure, for shits and giggles, I could, but like,
it's not essential TV. It's not essential TV yet.
if it happens,
Yeah,
I'll give you credit. I'll give you credit for trying to put it out there, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, we shall see. The women have been getting a little bit more shine, as well as our retired baddies, Layla Gray, as well as Kiera Hogan, and then of course our champion, our TV champion, Red Velvet. So shout out to those ladies. Happy that they're getting time on TV, as well as that Athena match with Leah James. That was a really good match as well. So moving on to Raw. Raw I feel like it was a good go-home show, serviceable, pretty much told the story for an overall predictive PLE, I don't know why I'm thinking on my words. Overall for a predictable PLE. So we started the show with LWO, are still involved with the Judgment Day. I don't know how you guys feel about Liv and Dom, but I really like Liv and Dom as a couple. I think that they work. I think that they have good chemistry.
What are you talking about? You know what? Liv and Dom, girl, what are you doing, Reese? What are you doing?
I know. I like them as a couple. Hey, listen, more Rhea for me. More Rhea for me.
I'm dead. She's supporting. I'm dead. She's supporting it. So
I support this. Tell him to stay where he at. See, it's fine.
Nope.
Stay where you at. Over there. But I do like it. I do enjoy that they show a little bit more PDA than him and Rhea. It feels a little bit more believable. Gotta be honest here. We know that Rhea was engaged and she wanted to be as respectful as possible with Buddy and me. But I told her she should just, do her thing. Because I'm not. I don't care.
Get back.
But
Meanwhile, I'm the opposite. I'm like, they doing too much. I just feel like they're doing too much.
I'm just a day.
It's definitely like, yeah, they're not kissing on the lips and stuff. They doing a little nose thing, but I just feel like every time somebody on the mic, they kissing on each shoulder, neck, head. I'm like, okay, it's just too much.
They're in the world. They're in character.
True, it's true. And I'm not afraid. The dressing room is, in the back. If y'all want to go there for like 5 minutes, like that's just me.
A little Lita and Edge.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I'm enjoying what Liv and Dom are doing. I like the new Judgment Day. I know a lot of people have been calling them Timu Judgment Day, but I think that the chemistry works. I think that it fits for the story, and I think that they, as a group, have been looking together menacing. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. But I also wanted to touch on some other things as well as Xavier Woods. It seems as though he's continuing to make that descent into a turn, potentially. Little, very, very little nods. They had matching gear, but Xavier's was all black. Whereas like Kofi had like the bright green, like the more traditional New Day. So it seems kind of making that turn to the dark side. Damage Control gets the dub and Zelina Vega has returned. Curious to see, since LWO is still circulating around Judgment Day, to see if they're going to do any type of rematch with Liv Morgan. I personally kind of hope that we move on. I want new challengers for Liv. I actually want to circle back and ask a really, really good question pertaining to Judgment Day and Liv's reign overall. Who do we want as an interim feud to kind of supplement everything that's going on right now with Liv's title?
KP, you've been quiet today. Tell me about your theory. Tell me. Let's talk. What you got? What you think?
I do want Rhea and Liv for Bad Blood, but as someone else to feud with him. Right. For someone else to feud with her, I'm gonna have to think about that, come back.
Okay. It's kind of hard when you think about it because we don't get too many people featured outside.
This is true. You got Damage Control versus what's it, the Pure Fusion Collective? That name. But anyway, you got Zelina jumping in. I'm gonna really have to think about that. Like, who would be good for her? I mean, Kiana James, like I said earlier, she's in the bag. That'd be her chance to try to step it up, see what she could show off. But yeah,
I think they could definitely put on a really good match. Kiana and Liv.
Good. I didn't think about that.
I'd be interested in seeing it.
But I definitely would be interested in seeing. I'd be interested in just seeing Kiana James. Period. Like on TV.
Period. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can still hear.
Yeah, you still work here, right? Yeah. I mean it's kind of hard because while I feel like while the everything with Liv has been going so well in the booking and the character work, everything has been so strong. It's kind of the same issue with Rhea where it's like I just want to see the belt defended.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just want to see the belt defended week to week. That's really not. I feel like I'm not asking for too much. Yeah, you know, like.
Right.
So we'll see where that goes. But we do have the closing out of Raw with Chad Gable versus Uncle Howdy. Overall, solid match. They're doing a good job at keeping the Wyatt Six storyline weighted and making people care. I like the nods that they've been doing, like the Bray Wyatt when he was dancing with John Cena with his passed out body. Uncle Howdy kind of did a nod to that. Reese, did you enjoy that match for the main event of Raw?
I did. I was a believer back in the day. I think it was solid. And then again with the ring psychology and the just emotion behind it, I was really excited to see it. And I think that Gable has been doing a fantastic job at really making the Wyatt Six feel like a big deal. So I gotta give him a shout out for that. Well, Chad Gable can make anybody look like a star. That's just how I feel. And it tugs at my heartstrings. Like,
Yeah.
I'm excited to see it. I am. I'm excited to see who their next opponents are, though. I feel like maybe it might be time to move past American Made now, or American Honda, or whatever, American Muscle, whatever they call. Them. Listen. I love the Creeds. I love Gable, but I think it's time for them to have some bigger feuds. And we didn't got now. We've all seen them wrestle. I know we got to get to Sister Abigail. Well, with the Witch Abby and Ivy, but I think now it's time to. All right, once that's over, like, come on now, do some more destructive. Like, came in destructive, do some more.
Agreed. I would like some more backstage havoc. Agreed on that. That's a great point, Reese. I would love some more backstage havoc. A little more terrorizing, a little more fear. You know, backstage. Like I feel like a lot of times WWE runs into this issue of like something happens at the top of the show with involving the Wyatt Six, and then people just come down to the ring like, "What's y'all?" Like, I'm okay. Like, it wasn't me. That was last segment, baby. Like, I'm on the now. You know, like they should come out a little bit like, damn. Like, I hope the lights don't go out during my match. Yeah, exactly. You know, so from that aspect, I agree with you, Reese. So moving on from Raw to NXT, we had a great match opening. Fatal Influence, I hate that name so much, versus Metaphor.
I like
Oh, good match.
I like the name. I like it better than Pure Future Collective. Like
that's much.
Like
The bar is
compared
in hell,
to
though.
the bar is in hell. Like, let's
exactly. Comparatively, yes. Comparatively, yeah.
the bar still counts.
So it's still awful. Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Future Collective is
It's a mouthful and a lot. But I'm kind of bummed that Metaphor got fed to Fatal Influence. I understand why Fatal Influence had to win. We're establishing a new faction. They're trying to establish dominance. But pick somebody else. Anybody else. Lash and Jakara have already kind of cemented themselves in the tag division as formidable opponents to where anytime that people are holding the belts on the main roster, people are asking for them to face the actual champions. So I feel like that wasn't really the best choice. It's a process with Shawn Michaels. It's a process that him and I have. Like, I talk to him week to week about all of this stuff. It'd be pissing me off. But the Lash Zoom call every week, I'm like, so what are we doing about Lash? Like what? Like, I need answers. I need direct answers. Shout out to Carmen Petrovic and Izzy Dame. They've been really, really improving week to week. Really enjoyed their match as well. They clearly are very high on Carmen Petrovic. They clearly see a lot in her. And honestly, I see as well. I think her moveset has crazy, crazy potential. Very, very excited to see where he goes. But of course, we have the highlight of NXT, Miss Parker herself, slapping the life out of Roxanne Perez. Talk about a clippable moment. This girl, her ability to be viral, that is a talent. Like, her ability to constantly be in conversation, to constantly have her name circulated around. That's a real, real talent that she has. So what was everybody's reaction when that slap happened?
I fell at the floor laughing. I couldn't. I couldn't. She was like, I'm gonna slap the taste out of your mouth.
I like this
And then just did it.
Oh, the look on her, the little side eye, like, stop playing with me. Like, stop playing with me.
It did.
It was so funny. Amazing stuff. I also just love how real Jada is. Like, I just love the authenticity of how real she comes across in her promos. Best talker in the division, I feel like, probably besides Lash. Yeah, fantastic stuff. Excited to see what she does at No Mercy. Obviously, the episode will be out after that. We'll try to do our best to give some coverage for No Mercy as well. But at the end of this segment, there has been a lot of speculation, a lot of conversation about who did the girls see. Was it Julia? We know that Stephanie Vacquier currently has some visa issues, so I think that kind of rules her out definitively for right now. And then we have Delta. But I personally want to throw in some PC people because we do have Cora Jade, who has been out for a while. And a couple of weeks ago, she did say that my injury, like they told me that I was supposed to be out 6 to 9 months. That was 9 months ago. So that's kind of indicating I'm coming back. I'm coming back soon. So who did you guys think the girls saw?
Julia for me, especially since she was teased first and then we saw her stand and deliver. So it's kind of like it's been building for a minute. I'm ready to see Julia. I'm ready.
I hope it's Julia as well.
I do see her Stephanie. Have something else.
My whole thing is that if it's Julia, that division is not ready. If it's Julia, like
it's like Asuka. Not even Asuka 2.0, not to, because Julia is her own
of course.
person. But it's like that. When NXT signed Kana, they signed Asuka. It was like this. I really feel like that's it. I want her to be undefeated. And I think this is their chance to do her undefeated streak correctly. This is your chance to make up for Asuka.
Yeah, 100%. I really, really hope that it's not Cora Jade, just off the strength that the sound of disappointment, the wave of disappointment that will hit the.
I was gonna say, like, I just think that if it was her, I think it'd be. I hate no shade to Cora Jade. Like, I just think it'd be boring. It'd be like, oh,
Underwoman. Very Underwoman.
Yeah, it'd be very underwoman.
Okay.
I think that it has to be Julia because we all know Julia's back from her side quest. Yeah, so I think it makes sense for her to be here. But again, I wouldn't be mad if it was Delta either, honestly. Because Stephanie keeps posting the three of them. So I just think that's very interesting. And then I want people to keep remember that Delta is around as well. Like, let's not forget about her.
Yeah, it's really strong player too.
Quick theory, channeling my inner Gabby. Quick theory. I wouldn't mind if maybe Cora Jade comes back in Roxanne's match against Julia. They align because they're both heels now. Like they align. We know they're best friends. We know they had a little tiff, but now that Roxanne has turned and Cora's like, see is great on the bad side, so I can see that being a thing. Her coming, that could kind of eliminate the disappointment of her coming back instead of Julia. So hopefully,
there needs to be a balance in that because you can only have one big pop and one takeaway moment, and I think it's going to be Julia, right? So like, I think Julia would overshine Cora coming back tonight. We all know NXT runs a lot of specials. There were a lot of surprises. But I think that you can't have both of them come back on the same night because Julia's going to overshine whatever happens tonight. Whoever that person is, we all know with Julia, is going to overshine it. So you have to kind of...
Oh, not tonight.
In general, like, pick your poison, right? You can't have both of them because Cora's not going to get that pop if it's tonight.
No, I don't think it's tonight. I think once Julia and Roxanne have their match finally, that's when Cora Jade will probably come back. Yeah.
Because that's also another thing, because
you're right. That will overshadow. Sorry.
No, you're totally fine. Because my whole thing is like, how long is Roxanne going to be holding this belt for? Because we got to know that if it's Stephanie, if it's Delta, obviously these are fantastic opponents. But I feel like there is a bit of a chance to where Roxanne could just, like something happened where 1, 2, 3, like she stole the pin and she's able to run off. Julia, I feel like they're going to have, in terms of the believability, they really have to do something in order to have Roxanne retain, because I feel like Roxanne's like the perfect champion for NXT right now. You know what I mean? Like, she's extremely young. I was watching a lot of her press and conversation. She knows how to prop up all the other girls in the division. She's an amazing talker. Like, She knows the business very well. She kind of like reminds me of Cody Rhodes in that way. So I feel like from a media standpoint, it's good to keep the belt on her, especially through that CW change. But that's the only reason why I have a little bit of like, if Julia comes back, Roxanne's on a time clock now, right?
No, she's absolutely
Right.
on a time clock.
Before.
Someone's got to take it from Roxanne. That makes sense too. And one of those three ladies makes sense. Also, it has to be someone like I like Jada Parker, but she's not winning tonight. She's not.
No.
Right.
Because I think we all can agree that Roxanne versus any of those three that we mentioned is a better match than Jada versus any of those three. So it has to be believable, but then you have to also keep in mind that at some point, you got to get time back off of Julia for Julia to move on. I don't think Julia's going to be in NXT that long.
Exactly.
But I think Roxanne is up next, whereas when Roxanne drops that belt, she's up. She's going up. Like, she's not going to hang out with NXT much longer.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to
Julia.
You got to use like how you do with Roxanne, right? They ship everybody up, and they had to keep somebody back down. Carmelo, same thing. They kept Carmelo down a little bit longer. They probably should have kept him down because they had to build him to build the next, to build Trick, to set a Trick for that moment. And so it has to be kind of the balance in that as well. Of not everybody can go up at the same time. Stephanie's got to to talk, so she's gonna be on there for a while.
I'll say that.
She's getting better at her speaking. She's got to be on there a while too. But I think that when they're ready to go and it's time to go, deuces to NXT. But again, they have to learn that NXT style because they've been indie for so long. They're not going to be a little super, super long, but it'll be long enough to make that impact and build the next person up to take over. Because again, you have to have that succession planning rather.
100%.
I agree 100%. As soon as Julia can cut a promo in English, she's out of there.
She's out.
Yeah. As soon as she can cut a promo in English, she's out. No doubt.
Yeah, awesome. So I wholeheartedly agree with all of that. I'm hoping that we get Julia tonight. Very curious to see what will happen if Julia does come back tonight, what that means for Roxanne and her reign and her future NXT. But let's get right into Bash in Berlin. We had a great PLE last night. I feel like it was a pretty good filler PLE. We had some good matches, good chapters to the overall book. That's what I call like a lot of the filler PLEs. So let's start with Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship. Personally, the match took a while to build for me, but once they found their footing, I really began to like it. The crowd, obviously for all of these matches, anytime that they go overseas, the crowd is a super major highlight for me. But KB, I want you to start us off. How did you feel about this match?
I agree with you. It was a slow build. Like, it took a minute, and for him to just be like, okay, should I take his knee or should I just stop the match? It took a minute, and I feel like that caused his downfall. I mean, we all knew that he wasn't going to win, but it took a minute for the story to be told.
For sure. And to echo what you were saying, KB, I do like that story beat of KO constantly being like, am I gonna turn? Am I gonna turn? No, I'm gonna be a good guy. I'm not gonna take advantage of my friend. So I feel like that really made the match more interesting and more engaging for me personally. Do we think this is the end?
No. I think it turns.
I'm curious to what happens next. Yeah, it made me invested to see what's gonna happen next. Yeah,
these. I mean, I want to ask you, Reese, because you were hoping that KO turned.
Mm-hmm.
So,
sure.
what do you want to see from KO with this heel turn?
I want to see OKO. I need kill, steam, kill. I need fight on site. I need the prize fighter back. I wasn't disappointed when he didn't. At first I wasn't disappointed when he didn't capitalize on the knee injury, and he's like, "No, I want to win this right. I don't want to win this way." But then when he didn't turn at the end, I was like, huh. When he snatched Cody's arm off of him, and then he just put Cody's hand up, I was like, "Oh boo, oh boo!"
The smacking
Where
of
are
the
my tomatoes?
Get some cabbage. Damn.
Yes, like oh man, like hell, cool, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see where it goes. I'm curious. I'm either way. Like, I'll be happy if he stays face. I didn't think that he was going to turn, but I could definitely see something happening with this story to where it becomes like, no, stop playing with me. Period. So moving on, we have one of my favorite matches of the night, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn versus Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill for the Women's Tag Team Championships. Really, really enjoyable match. Super fun. Gabby, how did you feel about this match?
I think that they teased Jade's anger and aggression kind of getting the best of her because you can tell she was getting frustrated during the match, but obviously didn't pull the trigger on it. And yes, I am actually happy they haven't pulled the trigger on that yet. I don't think that's ready. I feel like that's very rushed at this point. But it wasn't a good match, but also led to like me thinking like, so then why did they lose the shot to begin with? If they were just going to put them right back on them, like you gave the girls that hometown happy win. Cool. That's all you did. You know what I mean? Like it didn't progress anything. It didn't move anything forward. It didn't give, I don't know. It's just like, okay, so cool. You gave them back to them. I love that for you guys, but why did you turn the shit off of them besides like the good home time feel? And that's all I got from that. Because they didn't do anything with it, you know? It's just like they had the belts, they defended them a few times, and
that was it.
That was it. Like they need to bring back some love to these belts. So I need Bianca and Jade to do that immediately because at this point, like the belt are losing steam again. It happens every few title reigns where they lose steam. And I know shade to the ladies. It just that run fell flat to me. Need to fix it.
Yeah, and plus it's such a shame because Alba and Isla, especially in this match, they're fantastic. They, especially as a tag team, they worked really, really well together. The chemistry was on point. So it comes down to like, why aren't you guys putting these women? Like, why aren't you featuring these women weekly? They certainly can do the work. That's not the issue.
Not the issue. Yeah, right.
Like they had such an old school tag, like cutting off the ring and isolating their opponents, distracting the ref. Like I'm just like, perfect.
Really
They're a true tag. Right, they're a true tag team. I think they need to bring back some open challenges. We could see some fun names, maybe. But yeah, like you said, the belt needs love. And what was the point of taking it off of? What was the point of taking it off of? What are they? The S-Storm?
Yes, the battle. How bad is it to have a name?
They never had.
I don't know,
but like, give them one at this point. I'm seeing some really good suggestions. I don't know. It just
and her Betty Prayer.
No, for real.
Right.
Bring back the titles. Like now, I hate to bring this up, but like now I see why Sasha was pissed off. Like, you know what I mean? Like this ain't right. Like whatever.
Yeah. Like you put them on the best people, and then don't do anything with the best. Literally, the best people in the women's division. You have your belts on them.
Do something.
Jade Cargill looks like an action figure. Like she was made in the lab.
Like she is made in a lab. Like.
Yes, she's literally made in the lab. Come on.
Yeah, like we got to figure something out, especially since like in the press conference, you could tell that they really want redemption for this second run. They want to defend those belts. So, Hunter, let them defend those belts. Send them everywhere. Send them to Raw. Send them to NXT. Like, I want to see it. I want to see it.
That's all I care. Like, do something.
Right. Oh, you ate with that. You ate with that. Like, talk about an opportunity for TNA. Like that. Talk about it here, damn. Like,
do something because do something because you got to shake it at this point. Like I'm all for they need to shake these titles up in some way, some shape, more, and send them over to TNA might be that trick. I don't know, but like you got to do something. Give me something new. Give me something fresh. Do something. But then I mean, honestly, I can say that to honestly every tag team division from the men. To AEW's tag team division, to theirs, like I need someone to figure out tag team wrestling, and then like to share the wealth to everyone else. Because like right now, I feel like all the tag teams across the board aren't giving me squat.
It's an epidemic.
No one's giving me squat as far as the tag teams go. So like that is an area, just whatever.
And it's a fair rant, sure.
They need some tag team guys as producers. They need like you have Jason Jordan, which is cool, but then you put them with the women. So it's just like you need true tag team guys backstage.
100%.
Agreed. When Joey Mercury was here, that tag team division was fire. I just want to say, I mean, I noticed hype.
Give me something.
Yeah,
I'm just saying it, dog.
Yeah, we've been asking for a couple weeks now. Universal, something with the tag teams. Give us something, please, 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 please. Anybody watching at home? So let's move on to the strap match: CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. Enjoyed this match. I feel like it was a good, hard-hitting match. I think that the pace was what it needed to be. I think that the story, what they did with the time, the story was well told. I liked the ending of the multiple GTS finishers. But I do have to ask, just because with CM Punk winning and getting his bracelet back finally the bracelet is back in his possession. I have to ask, is this the end?
No.
No, I don't think so.
How do we extend it? How do we keep this going? He got his lick back. Punk got his lick back.
But Drew is never satisfied. Like, one thing we learned about Drew is Drew wants that goal. But also at the presser, I think Punk said he's coming for Gunther now. So like they start that feud and then maybe Drew jacks that up somehow. I don't know. But we got to do something until Seth shows back up. But I think this is not necessarily going to be the main mission anymore. But I think that Drew is not done with Punk. So he's a true hater at heart. Real side missions and side quests going on. Okay, I don't think we're done. Directly for now, yeah, it's gonna cool off a little bit, but we ain't done.
I like it. I hope that it's not. I hope that the feud overall isn't finished. Do we all echo that same sentiment? We don't think that the feud is over? Okay.
Agreed. Sure.
All right. So moving on to another really talked about match of the night, probably one of the most talked about matches of the night: Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest versus Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio. While the match had all of the beats that we expected, outside shenanigans, as well as Rhea finally hitting that riptide on Dom, I think that despite that, like despite the predictability of some things, I still think that it worked really, really well. Mm-hmm. So do we agree? We like this match? The match?
It did what it was supposed to do. It did what it was supposed to do.
It did.
Exactly. A good chapter in the feud, I feel like. I think that I want to ask Reese, though, because we were Team Liv Dom. We were Team Liv Dom. We weren't wrong. The only blemish on our card predictions. So I want to ask you, why did you want Liv and Dom to win?
I think it expands the story. I didn't want Damian and Rhea, to be... I didn't want them to just dominate, and especially when you have the Judgment Day as a factor, and it was like they were overcoming the Judgment Day. I feel like we're leading to something bigger as far as the Terror Twins versus the Judgment Day, and I just feel like maybe them, like Liv and Dom being able to get another one up over the Terror Twins would have been the best move. Again, never gonna hate hearing Rhea's music at the end of a match ever. But I do think that Terror Twins should have lost. It's some shenanigans, I do. And I know that probably was predictable. To me, that was the most unpredictable thing. Them winning was unpredictable to me about the whole pay-per-view, because I really thought that some shenanigans would happen and Liv and Dom were going to get the upper hand, or like Liv would roll up Rhea because she got so mad and distracted by her hatred for Dom and her broken heart that she used that and capitalized, and that would have set us up for Bad Blood. Again, I'm interested to see where they're going to go with that for sure now.
Yeah, I'm never a fan of a champion getting pinned. Like I've said that a couple times on the show. I get it, because now Rhea has a full-on stake to reignite the actual feud all over again. Like, well, now I pinned you, so I have a right to that belt. So I get it from that standpoint, but I just, for the legitimacy of the team, like, KB, I want to ask you, how do you have a whole group of dudes, a whole army of people, and two people overtook the entire group?
Honestly, I did not expect them to. I was not expecting them to jump in. I thought it was going to win. Because I did go for Rhea and Damian, because I felt like it's going to be with it for Damian's perspective. I felt like he got to beat everybody in Judgment Day to get to Finn. So that's why I figured they was going to win this match. But I was not expecting Judgment Day. I don't know why I did expect it, but I just didn't. And for them, I just felt like they had so much anger from being betrayed and, keep constantly getting jumped. So them overpowering them was not surprising. But yeah, I feel like it's going to set up eventually for Damien and Finn and for Rhea and Liv at Bad Blood.
Yes. I really, really like that because I feel like Finn and Damien have kind of crept up into a really, really good feud. Like they kind of not necessarily stumbled upon it, but they took a nice race into this feud, and now like I'm actually super, super excited to see who comes out on top of it. Gabby, do you think that this messes with the legitimacy of the Judgment Day, or do you don't think that it matters overall?
No, I don't think it necessarily matters. I think I mentioned before, like, or I think on our live, somehow WWE had like this reverse momentum thing where you lose, you win, you lose, you win. It kind of plays into this game. So I didn't see them losing, because you have to have a kind of WWF's the even thing, right? You got one, now let's go for the third. You know what I mean? Like, so I think that was fine. I think the setup for Bad Blood. So I don't think it's really messing with the credibility of the belt at all, because it was a tag match and life be life, and it wasn't necessarily all on her to win or lose. There was balance in that.
That's true. It does kind of take the stakes off. There was a lot of things going on in that finish. Plus that I did enjoy the riptide and I did enjoy the Rhea licking of Liv's face and tossing her. I thought that was like,
some people have all the love.
Yeah. That should be me, but
Listen, the way I posted that in my story, child.
Yeah, but I mean, this is why I overall asked that question earlier pertaining to Liv having more challengers, because do we think that this belt now has a history, especially with Rhea previously, of having little to no defenses overall? Or do you think that at the end of the day, this is in service of a story and the story is more important? It really comes down to, do we want to see the belt defended or do we want a good story, I guess?
I like the story.
¿Por qué no las dos? ¿Por qué no las dos?
Both. The men have both. Like,
True.
I don't know. I just feel like we shouldn't have to pick. I feel like we should figure out a way to have them both and to have everything. Like, I want my cake and I want to eat it. Like, I don't want to just stare at it. Like, oh yeah, great. That's great. It looks lovely. Can I have
multiple views for sure?
That's so real. That is so real, because imagine if we had all this stuff going on and somebody came up to Liv on Twitter and she was like, you know what? See me in the ring on Monday. Like, as this is ongoing, I would love that.
Now that you said that, Zelina and Liv and going back and forth for a minute, so I wouldn't be surprised.
But yeah, but nobody wants to see Zelina. Like, I don't want to see her.
She's kind of like also been there, done that a bit.
Yeah,
True.
True. I see what you're saying because I have been going at it. I just don't want to see it.
I don't want to see it either. But you got people, you got the Zelina fans. Like, we want more Zelina. So
They do.
And it does make sense.
Well, she's 5'2". It's only but so much of her. But
Hey!
she's 4'11". How tall is she? 4'11". She's only 4'11". So it's only so much of her.
listen,
Small creator somewhere. She's busy.
not you coming for the under 5'5" height, okay?
I'm sorry, y'all.
The 5'5" community.
Hello, I'm here.
I love my pocket-sized friends.
Wow.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
I looked that in my heart.
Oh, we look.
She just keeps going. But yeah, overall, I'm excited to see where this feud is going to continue. I feel like with what you said, I think Zelina would probably be good interim. Hopefully that they can create something with something else. That's the joy. That's the joy of being a writer, being creative. You could create things, like as well. Like, I don't understand why they don't. But
Plenty of women, I feel.
We do. It's so many women.
96. He puts 90. It's NXT is a 2-hour show. It used to be an hour show, and he finds a way to put 96 women on there. I never forget who is who over there.
yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly. So super excited about that. Now let's move on to the main event: Gunther versus Randy Orton for the World Heavyweight Championship. For me, the crowd made this match.
Yeah.
That was the overarching thing that I kept taking away. Is like, the crowd is crazy. When Ludwig came out and did that introduction for Gunther, that was such a cool. I'm so happy that he got to do that and have that moment in Germany. I think that I mean, it's a first title defense for Gunther, so nobody really predicted him dropping the belt so soon, especially in Germany, him
Right.
headlining this entire show. So
So a SmackDown superstar.
like
Right.
while the main event was predictable, I do think that the match was serviceable and what it provided. I thought the near falls were really, really good. The near falls were another thing that was kind of like getting me like, okay. Especially with all of the press that Randy Orton was doing. Like, he brought his family out to Germany, like the whole nine. A lot of times, like, you don't bring the family out unless something big's happening. But all of this to say, what do we think is next for Randy Orton? Do we see him staying on Raw, or do we see him going on over to SmackDown?
He's going home. He's going back to SmackDown.
Going back to SmackDown? Unsuccessful?
A lot of shaken up with the new changes coming to the network TV. I think a lot of people are going to end up having to get kind of moved around a little bit. We'll see where everyone lands, but I think that's going to be part of it. There's going to be a little shake up here. Things are going to
Yeah, and I'm very curious because I completely forgot about this. I believe it's September 13th. SmackDown makes the change to USA Network. Crazy. End of the month, NXT over to CW. Wow. Things are... It's crazy when those announcements first happened. It felt like a lifetime ago. Now it's like, now it's here.
Now we're here.
So I'm excited. Do we foresee in the next year Randy holding a belt? Yes.
Don't know which one, but yes.
I get
they got years left on his contract. So like, this is like they're like in a rush, like they're going to be with John Cena to kind of make some things shake in the year. He's got fun. He just signed me up for 5 more years. Like, he's not going to win. He says he's injury free. He's got time to have some fun.
Got time.
Yeah, that's for sure. I think we see Randy Orton get 15. He's at 14, or he's at 15. I think we get to see him get 15 and 16. Yeah. I think he beats Flair's record. I do. I don't think Cena wants to do it.
Yeah, I think Cena's going to. I don't think he wants to. Because Cena, like, why not? It's his last year. Why not give him every goal? Go on a tag team run for all I care at this point. Check out the tag teams. Like, give him whatever he wants. But Randy's got time to play around. So.
For sure.
Yeah. Especially in the wrestling world, 5 years is a long time.
It's a very long time.
I would love for
Cody next.
Yeah, Cody versus Randy. That would be... I don't know why they keep teasing it. I'm like,
never mind. No.
I
take it back.
Yeah. And besides, that's what we want. Besides Roman, this is the feud for Cody, right?
Right.
Randy.
Yeah, it is.
Agreed.
100%.
So nice. So that concludes our Bash in Berlin talk. Thank you so much to our listeners on whatever streaming platform you choose to hear us on. It is always greatly appreciated. Be sure to leave us a review on Apple Music and Spotify and give us a good rating because that always helps us in the long run. And if you're watching us on YouTube, please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe and hit that bell button because that is how our content gets in front of more beautiful people such as yourselves. Now, before we close out the show and do all of our social media and all that good stuff, we do have our giveaway. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to KB where she will announce our winner.
All right. So I'm about to pull the first one.
We're doing multiples?
I was thinking, should we do 2? What y'all think?
We gotta go for it. Let's do 2.
We're going to do 2.
Okay. Exciting.
Yes. Okay. So first one. Okay. Eyes are closed. All right. Let's see. The first one goes to... Not the sticky side sticking. Okay.
How dare it do its job?
Right. The first one goes to Chill Homie Quan.
And you have to comment and let us know what size you are and things like that. Or send us a DM, whichever you prefer.
Absolutely. Just checking. Because remember, a qualification to make sure you follow us. And I'm
pretty sure that person does.
And he does. Wait. All right, one more. All right. Eyes are closed. Wait. Can't grab one. All right, there you go. Let's see. All right. And this one goes to
Sticky side is sticking in, y'all.
and absolutely Griff.
Yay!
Griff.
I know these.
Of course.
100%.
Congratulations, guys.
Yes! All right. Congratulations to all of our winners. Of course, if you are not following us, you can follow the collective on TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at Lip Gloss N, the letter N, Ladders. And on X, that's Lip Gloss Ladders. Where can they find you, KB?
It's crazy because I still say Twitter. I have yet to say X. Right. Twitter and Instagram, Meticulous Key. So I'm not spelling it anymore. You'll find me. Just go to our page, you'll find me.
Wait. And what about you, Reese?
I am at Genius Re on Instagram and _ Genius Re on Twitter.
Awesome. And what about you, Gabby?
You can find me across everywhere at Charm City Gabby. Gabby has 2 eyes.
Love it, love it. And you can follow my life on the day-to-day at Ash_Benny. And if you want wrestling talk, I'm over at Benny's Block _ as well. That's our show this week, guys. Be sure to put down the lip gloss, pick up that ladder, and we'll see you next week. Bye.